Hey guys, welcome back to the Evening Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian. This is a part 2 of a continuation of bearing fruit. We're just going to take it in another direction. I hope you guys enjoy. What I wanted to do, because I wanted to go deeper, because there's an area that I feel has been influential in church that how do I say this? Because I want to talk about the music industry. I know you do music, but I think the fruit. I think when we're talking about bearing fruit, I think music is a significant part of it. Music has been driving culture, period, but it's driving a lot of church culture too, where you have artists feeling like they can partner with secular artists, believing that it's going to do something. And I'm not saying that God can't use it, but I'm saying that is it problematic for the faith? Because who are you really, who are we really winning in that regards? Like, do you feel like we're going to win? A secular person is going to be able to like hear this Christian song and just be like, oh, that's a good song, and be moved by it and give their life to Christ, versus the other way around, where Christians that only listen to Christian music finally hears a secular artist that a Christian artist has stamped. Oh, I must be able to listen to that now. Yeah. And now they start to have problems in their walk where they never experienced. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like doors get open. Like which way? Which door is gonna dominate? Right.
So, it's really interesting because it's like if I turned on Jesus is King, Kanye's album right now, and put my son onto it, he's gonna be like, oh wow. And then if he continues to go down the rabbit hole of Kanye, he's quickly gonna be like, this is gonna completely like mess him up. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do find it problematic, and I think it's funny because for some of these artists, like you said, they can bear fruit. It's like, all this sexual immorality, and then you have a song about Jesus.
That's what I'm saying.
And I know it sucks for artists because it is like half of it is once you get signed, you're literally, that's what you're doing. You're signing your life away, right? So when a label says, hey, come do this, you can do that. And if you don't, you're gonna sacrifice your entire career, because now you said no to the label, they're fine, but now they're going to close every door for you. You know what I mean? But on the other side, it's becoming so gimmicky that it's like, if you have a big voice in gospel and in the faith, and you're co-signing this particular artist, that's very dangerous, because you actually have, Kirk Franklin has more power than all these young artists he's featuring with. Like, we keep it at being like, this dude's been in the industry locked in forever. So him co-signing a young artist who exhibits and just talks about nothing but the negative things that we literally see that's in Galatians, that is problematic, because you are going to get people in the church looking for that, and not only that, but it allows the artist to be complacent. Yeah. So now it's like, oh, I'm good because he's on the song with me. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's almost like, oh, how people are. Oh, don't worry, my grandma praying for me.
No, for sure, I like that. Yeah, that's a perfect example. It's the same thing. It's like, well, I must be good with God because I'm on a song with Kirk. Yeah. Or like I'm good with God because my grandma praying for me. Like that's the perfect thing. It's like, I think us just tying ourselves to somebody that supposedly in right standing with God isn't a ticket to being right with God. Yeah. Because you still have your process to go to. You still have your sanctification. It's your personal salvation.
Being a priest,
Yeah, it's that's not it. And I think why I'm asking you, because I know how long you've been doing music. I know all the artists you're around, the stuff you do. And I know the life I used to live. Because I'm not the thing is about, I don't think all secular music is bad. That's me. Like, I don't think it's all bad. But I think there's a narrative. I think there's a dangerous line when you got pinnacle, like gospel or Christian rappers, pinnacle in their area, that believe that they have to be the one to cross over. Yeah. For whatever reason. I'm like, bro, that should never be it. That should never be it. Well, we're called to go and seek the law. I get all that. But there's a place where we have to be like, no, I have a standard. Yeah. And I have to be separate. I have to distinguish myself. We have to look different.
Yeah.
And I believe that the thing about when we look at how Christian artists performs and they productions they put together, it looks so close that you wouldn't, if you just saw images of concerts of both, you you couldn't tell the difference, because we want that type of somewhere in us, we want to be loved like the world.
Yeah.
We want to be applauded. We want to have the acclaim to look like that, because that means I'm a successful artist, right?
Yeah, and the question becomes, how much of what you're doing is spirit led, and how much is monetary, or it is a label telling you to do it, or you feeling threatened. They got something on you, and if you don't do what they say, you're gonna end up like certain people. Because I actually have, it's funny, I have a song with the secular artist. He does R&B, and when I first reached out to him, I was like, I hit him. I'm like, hey, what you doing? He said, oh yeah, I'm just leaving 2819 right now. Like, I was like, dang. So then I actually talked to him, and he was like, yeah, his whole thing is like the way he approaches R&B is God, love, and like breakups. So it's an essential piece of what he's trying to do, and in his message and his art. And it's like, as you talk to him, you start to see the fruit. You know what I mean? You can start to see the fruit, and that's why I like some of his music, because like some of it's cool, obviously. You know what I mean? Obviously, you got the R&B stuff, but the one thing that I realize is like, I'm nobody. So me co-signing him, he's gonna get none of my fans. There's nobody. I have zero influence. I only have something to gain from that. Yeah. But another thing is like, I can tell that him choosing to do the song because God is working on him. You know what I mean? Because it's my song. I wrote the whole thing. Like it's a love song, but I pretty much at the last verse says, me and my wife were like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. It's very poetic, very based off of like Song of Solomon. I start off with a quote from Song of Solomon.
I got you.
It's on purpose because, I'm not saying that I want people to make love to my song, but Christians, we need. No, I'm joking. No, I just wanted to.
No, we got to though. We got to.
No, you better not turn my song on. Hey, Luke, you went crazy.
I'm just saying, you was.
No, but I just think it's important to and especially in this new album, there is a level of transparency that's necessary. Yeah. And God convicted me about just the way that I was moving throughout life. I was working so hard, trying to provide, trying to give them everything that I thought that they wanted. And then God stopped me and was like, Luke, your family was solid in the apartment complex. Nobody wanted this big house you can't afford. Like they were just good. Was big too. And now here you are chasing after something that you literally can't even afford. You're losing the people that you're doing it for. Like what is this? Stop. And acknowledge the fact that this is my daughter who you are with, and she's been rocking with you. You know what I mean? Like acknowledge the love. Like where's the love at? Because God is love at the end of the day. So
what if, and then just sticking with this music, because I think the people are so infatuated with their giftings, the giftings that the Spirit has given them. And they think that through that, the fruit of the Spirit is going to be exemplified. And it's like, no, bro, like that's not how the fruit of the Spirit is displayed. It's not displayed through the gifts of the Spirit. People, they use their platforms to sing or rap, right? But then they try to have a moment where they're like preaching, or like trying to share the gospel from the platform. That's good. I'm not discrediting it. I'm not saying that God can't use it, that it won't be beneficial, right? But when you have people that use Christ for monetary reasons, like their whole agenda is just to talk about God just enough to get people to believe that they're a true believer, just so they can get all their money. Yeah. But I guess what I'm saying, like that's in music. I've seen it in business. I've worked for people that manipulate, the word of God for that as well. And I just want to know, like, what made you, bro? Like, what made you? Because you are gifted, you produce, you sing, you play instruments, you rap. Like what made you realize, like, God, I don't want to use these giftings that you've given me for anything else but for your kingdom? Like, or was it a time where you struggled with that?
I mean, obviously, I was a naive bow tie wearing 17-year-old who just loved God. But the one thing that I realized, and I actually say this in one of my songs, is like, I was Job. Like, I really was Job. I mean, God
like
knew
Job that had defense protection.
Job, who the devil said, who oh, Luke's not going to be solid.
Oh, you with Job, God considered him.
Yeah.
Like, have you considered my servant
Yeah,
Job?
like, oh, if Luke goes through a divorce, he ain't going to still be a minister.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, like, oh, if Luke struggles, he ain't going to still do this. If Luke, like, and been solid the whole time, you know, and even moments of slipping, it's like always being direct and having that intention. So my intentions have always been to glorify God. And to be honest, it's like, I don't play video games. Like I love music and it's always been just an avenue that's where God speaks to me, you know?
Yeah.
Like I was telling my brother today, like making music isn't necessarily fun. Listening to the music is amazing because I'm pouring into myself. Like a couple of weeks ago, I was like super frustrated. I put on my own album and it's just this reminder. It's almost like having a conversation with you. It's just like this reminder of like, look, like God has everything under control, you know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how gifted people see me as. I know that this is God. I know that like every word that I'm writing, like there's no way I'm not even that creative. I know that I'm not that talented, you know? So I think it's the purpose that God has and that he uses music. It's for his glory and it's for a very particular reason. And I'm on a journey just trying to figure out God I want to find out and I want to see how you want to use it. Yeah. But it's not a matter of, I'm just like this super talented dude who just, you know, it's not a talent thing. And I think the biggest thing is, and even like you said last episode, like why some singers, they sound good, you get emotional and the other, there's nothing. Like, what do you believe? Like, I know in the bottom of my heart, I believe that God is speaking through me. Like, I believe it, you know, like every time like I'm singing at church, whether my mic is turned up or not, I'm crying because I sincerely just believe that God is good. I really want to see his glory. I really want to feel him. You know, I believe that the music that I'm writing is not something that Luke came up with, because if I showed you some of the stuff that I just tried to do on my own will, it's trash. Like all of it is trash, bro. So I think just having the sincerity in my heart and honestly believing like that God is using this medium through me is the biggest reason, you know?
No, that's good.
And honestly, like I don't even like the spotlight like that, you know? I be behind the camera.
Yeah,
like they probably think that you're probably a villain. Like this dude got Luke in the dungeon just doing this stuff. I'm in the even if sweatshop.
Yeah, trust me,
like,
bro.
I'm chilling, you know.
Bro, I'm always like, bro, you gotta get on camera. You gotta look like, nah. No, but let me. Like, I want to give you your flowers, dude. Like I get what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but it's not for you to say. It's for everybody that know you and love you. Though you are talented, bro. Like God has gifted you in a lot of areas. Like and I'm just proud of you, like, because I see the fruit of what you're doing right now. Just in these almost 3 years of us being together, 3 years really, us being together, just everything that's happening for you in your life. Like, I'm not gonna sell you short, bro. Like, God's hand has been on you. You've been like disciplined. You've been like hyper focused in what the Lord has been doing. You've been honoring him in everything, even in like times right now where there's might be some little like frustration. You haven't let that made you go back to square one. Yeah. Like you continue to choose the heart, choosing God, choosing his heart, choosing his process, and choosing his heart. Yeah. You know, because you're going for it, bro. Yeah. So I applaud you. I applaud you to stick in there.
Yeah, thanks, man. And that's one thing that I just encourage people, bro, because like life is gonna get hard, man. Just because you're going through doesn't mean God's not real.
Doesn't mean God's not
just
real.
Because life hurts does not mean God's not real. If God gave you a purpose, just because things you don't see the outcome that you want, doesn't mean that purpose isn't there. And a lot of times we're going through the journey and we just leave. We just like we're playing the video game of life. Halfway through, we just walk out the house and like never return. And you just see so many people, especially at our ages, like how many people they had hopes in their early 20s, and here they are now, and they're just like nothing. You know,
nothing. Like, they were probably waiting for a tangible fruit. They were probably waiting for a physical fruit.
And it goes back to the heart, bro. Like a lot of great leaders who I've been meeting through James and all these CEOs, they have the most amazing hearts, bro. Like the really good ones, they love people. Like they love and consider and they care so much about their teams. Like their heart is in a place where it's like, obviously this person's going to be successful. Like he cares about the janitor just as much as he cares about the CFO. You know what I mean? But it seemed like as believers, sometimes we're kind of like, we're put in this place of humility where whoever is speaking, whoever is singing, if you make me cry, you're better than me. You know, like we have levels in the gospel, and it's like That's so wrong, because
wrong.
you're thinking, oh, well, God's not using me like that. I don't have money like this person. I'm not doing this. And now you're internally frustrated. And now you're allowing that resentment to be planted into your heart. And then the devil can just do whatever he wants at that point.
Oh, yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, like, it's not even about that. It's all about what fruit are you bearing, and where is your heart, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, are you looking at people and you don't even realize that, like, you can't even be sincerely happy for your friends because they're getting blessed with something that you've been praying into. Like, I can sincerely be happy for people that are in my circle when I see them winning. Like, same. That means a lot to me, to like see my friends winning, to see them flourishing, to see the spouses and their children and their businesses and, you know, and them just operating in their singleness. And like I like seeing this stuff, like regardless of what's going on with me.
It's encouraging, because if I'm going through something, please give me some good news. Like,
for real, bro.
Tell me, you know, for
real, because like the thing is, like, I'm getting, bro, when I tell you, like, I've been praying into having more joy this year and it's been happening. That's one thing I want every day. Like, God, I want joy and regardless of what's going on. Because I'm not looking to do what makes me happy, because that only fuels the flesh. I don't care about doing what makes me happy, because if I have joy in my life in every area, it doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? I want to have your mindset. I want to have your mind. I want to have your direction. Give me and my wife strategy on how to do things. I want this platform to be what you want. I don't want to force anything. I don't want to create content for content's sake. You know, because it's easy, bro. It's easy. If I wanted to, like, I could be, bro, I could have been went viral if I wanted to. The stuff I would say, the stuff I could talk about, like, and still try to label myself as a believer, as a Christian. No, that's not who I am. Like, that's not who I am. That's not what I'm here to do. And
one thing I'll add to that, I remember my dad once said this story. He was like, this one preacher, he said, never pray for patience, because, like, I asked God for patience and I went through a storm. And it's like, no, anything worth getting is going to take you through something uncomfortable. Like, when you're playing and you're practicing football, it is not easy to train, but the people who train the hardest and put up with the most pain, they're the ones who are going to reap the rewards of it and make it to the league. I feel like a lot of Christians, we don't even want God to take us through seasons of joy, take us through seasons of peace, take us through seasons of learning how to have self-control, take us, like, God's trying to, I bet God's working on half the church. He's still trying to take you through this season of self-control, and we just can't get it right, you know? Like, embrace every season that God's trying to get it in, put you in, so that you can come out of it with gentleness, you know, with peace, with righteousness, with self-control. Like, because then we're going to be the fruit, and then God's going to come, and he's going to, when he's ready to eat a fig, it's like, I got you, Jesus. Got you. We ain't going to be cursed, you know? We only have to lose.
What about, let's look at it this way, the analogy of the house built on the foundation and the sand. Look at it this way. How much time does it take to build a good foundation? Before he's, like, the person that built their house on the sand was already living in their house probably. Before the foundation of the other house was even completed, you know. And that's the thing about us being in Christ. This foundation, we have to make sure it's solid. We have to make sure we're completely sold on God and his word, that is in us, is rooted in us, so that if it's deeply rooted on good soil in our heart, that when the fruit come out, nobody's surprised by it. That if I'm making sure this concrete is curated and I build my house, that when the storm comes, I'm not afraid of the storm, because I know who's with me in the storm.
Absolutely.
The sand house and the foundation house both went through the same storm. The only difference is that the one went through it with Christ. He went through it with the rock. And it's like the storm didn't happen to him. He still, some stuff probably still happened, but his house didn't blow away. He still went through a shaking. And that's what I believe a lot of us need. A lot of us can't be afraid of the shaking, guys. Like, when Christ and God is doing something in your life, don't avoid that shaking. Embrace it. Stand in it, knowing that his word is immovable. It's the same today, yesterday, and forever. And that's what we need to embody from this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation with me and Luke. I hope that you guys start to examine yourselves when it comes to the area of bearing fruit. I hope you guys examine yourselves when it comes to, are you living the fruit of the Spirit? I know that it can sometimes seem like a childish teaching, but it is a teaching that is required for all of us as believers. So with that being said, I love you guys. God bless you guys. Mr. Evening Podcast.